So that's why on these bifold doors, I brought them back out here just to remind me I've got to take this hinge off. I'm going to take this hinge off and save it. Take it with me to the store. There's lots of different things. As you're going through your projects, you're going to find you're going to need different things. I'm getting ready to paint the entire condo. I've already taken out all the light fixtures, all the wall plates, all the different things on the walls that need to be done and cleaned up. And I'll make a quick little video of that too. And anytime I need something and I know, oh shoot, I need some more plastic anchors, I need some toggle bolts, I need this, I need that, I write it down on my list. And then on some of the things, if I'm going to match up, like I've got some eyeball trim, light fixture trim covers, and one of them is missing the little spring-loaded deal, you know, to hold the trim up. I'm going to take that with me. I'm going to take another one with me to the store. I'm going to take the hinge with me. What else am I going to take to the store with me? Just a couple things, you know. Oh yeah, for the new. See, here's my toggle bolts for closets, and I need to look at those, and I need the little toggle, this wing thing, because all of them fell down into the wall, you know, as I was pulling them out. This one, they installed it and they thought it was in the wall, and it wasn't. It was behind the shelf bracket. So I'm going to take that with me. It's just going to remind me, oh, okay, I need to get some wings, and I'll make sure that they fit on here, that the threads size is the right one. And you know, because some of these screws I can still reuse as long as I have the little wing, right? I'm going to take that to the store, and I've got my hinges. These are the ones for off of the doors. This is a 3.5 hinge, and I'm going to take it to the store with me and match it up. You might think, hey, why are you taking that? You know, it's a 3.5 inch hinge. Just get the 3.5 inch hinge. But see, look at this one. This is a 4 inch hinge, and they have different radiuses. Did you know there's three different corner bits you can get. This is a short closed radius. See how it's real small? This is a big radius, right? This is for the garage door, so I'm going to take that with me to remind me I need a 4 inch with the big radius. And then they also have hinges that's just square, so I'm going to take those with me just to remind me of what I need at the store. And there, like I say, there's not too many things I need, different things, but I make my list and write down everything. So a couple of the things was to see if I can't match up these hinges, because if I can, then I'm going to get 6 of those hinges for these bifold doors. I'm going to replace one at a time. I'm going to take this one off, put the new one on. Then I take this one off, put the new one on. Don't take all 3 of them off at the same time, you know. Just leave it together, and then I'm going to get the top bits. So this was reminding me to take, before I call these good and ready to be painted, I'm taking the hinge off and I'm taking these top bits off and making sure I can get the plastic screw anchor things out of those to then take to the store. Remind me of what size it is, because like I say, there's 2 different sizes of those, and I'm going to take those to the store. So that's why these bifold doors are out here, and I'm going to work on those before I get all done. So once I get all the doors sanded, here's the other thing. Once I get all the doors sanded, am I ready to call these ready to be painted? No, I'm going to wipe all these down. And like I say, some people will just take a dry rag, wipe them all down, but then you still will have some of the dust film on there. So I'm gonna wipe all these down with a sponge, and I'll get a bucket of water and I'll wipe these down. And as it's drying, I'll re-wipe it. I'll probably wipe it twice, you know, and then go on to the next door. And I'll do both sides. Like I say, I'll do both sides of the doors. Okay, as I'm doing that. Then when I'm all done, I'm going to take these doors back inside. I'm going to stack them right here, because first off, it's winter, like I said, and it's going to get cold tonight. I'm not going to be painting. I'm not going to start painting these tonight or anything, and I don't want to leave them here. Okay, I'm going to bring them back inside. I want to keep them kind of warmed up a little bit, and that'll tell me, okay, those are all done. Then all the sanding dust residue, I'm gonna sweep it out this garage again. Okay, when I'm all done, wiping everything down, taking the doors in, then I'll sweep all this stuff up. Then I'll make sure I've got, you know, craft paper. Oh, and the other thing, before I take these doors in, I'm gonna put screws on the bottom of those. No, actually, I'm gonna put screws on the bottom of those doors when I get ready to paint. I'm not gonna put the screws on the bottom of the doors yet because I'm still gonna have the doors stacked inside the house. I don't wanna put the screws right down on top of the floor, on top of the carpet, and you get some black mark from the screw or something, or you get an depression in the carpet or whatever. And I don't want any marks on the floor with them sliding out, scratching the floor because oh, I was gonna be good. I was gonna get all ready to have these doors painted and put those screws on there. I'll make sure that I have the screws. If I don't have the screws, I'll put it on the list. Things to get at the Home Depot when I'm there, okay? So always thinking about your project is the way to go. And you know what? Can you be an average Joe and get your doors painted? Of course you can. Oh, what do we have here? Looks like we're getting these doors ready to be painted. I see the sanding pad out, some sanding papers, a little sand paddle, a sponge sander. And yes, that's because this whole inside is going to be repainted, painting everything inside, all the doors and frames, all the ceilings, all the walls, all the baseboard, all the closets, everything like that. And when you get ready to do some painting, the best thing I could suggest is to take everything down and not have to paint around stuff. Here we had some track lights. I took those down. I thought, well, I'll just take the heads out and paint around the rest. Then you got to get up there with the paintbrush and cut in around there and make sure you don't get paint all over the place. And you can't just run your roller, boom, 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 be done. You know, I took the ceiling fan down. Yeah, took the whole ceiling fan down. Sometimes I've seen people that you can leave the ceiling fan up. In fact, I've done some jobs with leaving the ceiling fan up and just taking the top trim, sliding the top trim down. Then you got to mess around with making sure you don't get any paint drips down on top of the top edge of your ceiling fan or the top side of your ceiling fan blades, and then you still have to be careful around there and cut in and all that. Now, and because this place is this condo's 15 years old, I know the ceiling fan has never come down before, so that was a good time. Mommy says, yeah, go ahead and take it down, and before we put it back up, I'll clean it. So she's got everything cleaned on everything, and you notice there's nothing down on the floors. Where did everything go? Well, I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, we took all the cover plates off, the light switches, the duplex outlets, even the coaxial cable cover plates I took out, and phone cover plates. I've taken the phone cover plate out, but see, I can leave it like that, or I can put masking tape on it, and then I'll run it sideways in there. Okay, because there's no way I'm going to disconnect all that, right? Okay, and then I got all the cover plates. Mommy's going to clean those, and they're all sitting over here. And I've already scratched off any paint that was on the edges of those. Some of them there was paint on edges, some of them there weren't. And then I marked up whatever ones were broken. I wrote those down on a list, and if they were Navajo white instead of white covers. See, look at this cover. This cover is slightly different color than that. See, it's kind of hard to tell. But if I want to change that, now's my time to write it down on the list and get a white one. And I might just do that. And anyways, when she gets all done with that, I'll put everything in the cupboards. And as for the cupboards, I just stacked everything down in here. I'm trying to do this with one hand. Oh, good grief. There. Let's just take this top one off. This is my garbage can. And see, I just stacked everything in here. There's my ceiling fan. Here's an exhaust fan cover. Here's my light fixtures, my glass, and all that kind of good stuff. I've got that stacked in there because, see, yeah, I even took the can light trim off, And then I put the bulbs back in so I can still operate the bulbs right now, but later on I won't because I'll have masking tape over that, but for the time being, it was fine. Okay, there was another light there. Here's some can lights that were here, and on all the doors and frames, obviously I had to take all the hinges off, all the strike plates, all the latches. And before I did that, I checked to make sure that the doors were opening and closing properly. This door was warped, and whoever installed it, they installed it with the warp in it, and so they adjusted the door stop. And I went around, I thought, forget that. This door was hanging in about 5/16 in as you closed it, and it was sticking out about 5/16. Well, I readjusted that. I've made a video of that you can find that under doors. Okay, and in the bathrooms, I've taken the lights down, and I'll take the mirror out. It's real easy to take the mirror out. There's just a little edge on there. You just lift it up on that. Took the cover of this off, the exhaust fan. I even took the inside of the exhaust fan out because that hadn't been taken out and dusted on the inside with a little toothbrush and stuff, and got all that kind of stuff out. And it still runs kind of rough, but on the inside section of most exhaust fans, you can take that down. Did you know that? And take that to the store, and you might be able to get the same exact size to fit back in there. Or if not, you can just do the motor, and if the motor assembly is the same, then you can take just the motor section off of this and put that back on, put the existing innards back in there and screw it in there, and then your fan is all nice, because that thing's 15 years old. When you turn it on, it might run loud or it might run rough. Here you can kind of hear it rumble a little bit, and it might be because the motor needs to be replaced. Okay, so anyways, here's some more cans, and any sort of adjustable shelves, I took those out, marked them, figured out exactly where they're going to go. And I still have to take the vertical blinds down. I took all the individual slats down, and I've got them here. And when I get ready to paint, I'll slide these out into the garage, or I'll take those and slide them down there. When I get done with this ceiling, I have to slide them back over here. I don't really have much room for storage, and I'm gonna have doors set up in the garage, and maybe I don't want to set those out in the garage, but see, I still have this top trim piece to take down. I don't want to leave that up there, because then you have to cut in around it. You have to make sure you're real careful about all that kind of stuff. And plus, this is installed crooked. This edge needs to be lowered down. I'll readjust that and do all that when I get all done. So I still have that to take down. And what did I do? What did I do up here? There was wall sconces. These were all wall sconces. So instead of just taking the trim down, take the whole thing down. You know, I even took the little divider piece that was on here, because it almost comes to the edge of where it was painted. So I took that down too. And you see, I had all the interior adjustable closet shelving was that white plastic wired stuff. I just stacked it in there, because eventually I'm going to paint in here where the washer and dryer is, but I'm not going to do that. When I first do everything, I'm going to paint everything, get all the closets painted and all that kind of stuff. And then when I'm done with all that, then I'll take this, set it into each closet where they go, and I marked down where each thing goes and the height and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm going to paint this as one little project before we move in here, mind you. But the dryer is pretty light, so I'll take some cardboard, put it on there and slide it out of the way. Get it over in here. Then I'm going to leave the washer in this room, yeah, because it's so heavy, and I'm here by myself, and I'm not going to start dragging it and getting it on the carpet edges. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I don't really think I want to mess with that. If I don't want to mess with it, I can have the dryer out of the way, paint this little section over here, okay? And then slide the washing machine over, all the way over here to the right, and then paint the rest of the room. I could do that if I don't want to move the washer. okay? If I'm here all by myself. If I get somebody else out here to help me, then maybe I'll lift it and muscle it out and stick both the washer and dryer here. This carpet is fairly new. It's probably 3 or 4 years old. It needs to be stretched and stuff. You can see there's wrinkles in here. See? Right in through here. And in each room, there's different things that need to be done. And so I'm going to have a guy come out here and stretch the carpets. But I don't want to take the washer and start dragging it on this carpet and messing up the carpet, or one of the wheels is bent and maybe it's got a little grease on it and I pull it on the carpet. Whoops! Now I got a big old greasy mark. Thank you very much, that I have to clean up. You know, I even took the towel bars down, and here there was a towel ring. They had a little cabinet here from before, but if there was one there, I would have taken that down. And exhaust fan down, the light fixture down, cover plates off. This room is all ready to be painted other than pull this down. I still have to prep the walls and fill up nail holes and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not 100% ready just yet. But see, in the closet, the shelves were here and I thought, man, maybe I should just leave the verticals up and paint around them. But by the time I do that, I could have just taken this out, done it right, got them all adjusted properly. Some of these didn't have plastic anchors. Some of the plastic anchors came out. Some of the screws were just spinning, and so I marked them, the tops, you know. And before I paint, before I call this good, I'm gonna measure everything. You know what I mean? Write it down on a piece of paper and that kind of stuff, and get it done. And you notice there's still smoke alarms up here. So I didn't want to take the smoke alarms down until I got ready to paint, okay? Because we may not be painting this ceiling for another, 4 or 5 days. And I want the smoke alarms to be up here as long as possible in case anything ever happens. Wouldn't that be something if I took all the smoke alarms out and then somehow there was a fire in here and none of the smoke alarms went off? And granted, the place is empty, but still, I'll take the smoke alarms down when I get ready to paint, okay? That's just how it is. That's one more thing I've got to remember to do. Yeah, lots of things that I still have to remember to do. I took the cover off of the air return. Initially, I was just going to take the outside trim piece, fold it up and pull it, and just pull that section off and leave the trim around it. But then Mommy says, why don't you take that off so I can clean it? It was only installed with 4 little screws, sheet metal screws, and I took that off, and now it's going to be easy to paint that, and we can clean that whole thing out and see the size of the filters and all that kind of stuff, and be ready with that. And so when I was up there, I vacuumed off the top ledges of this, and I was able to do that because I was up there. Okay. Now here in the master closet, again, closet poles, shelves. Initially, again, I was just gonna leave the top trim pieces, and then I thought, just take the whole thing down. So I marked the tops of this. And I'm going to make a little map, and I'm going to measure it from the ceiling on down and see where these go. Because see, this one doesn't go all the way to the wall, so I'll measure off the wall, however far, and write that down on my list so that when I go ahead and get ready to put that top piece up, I'll know exactly where to put it. You know what I mean? And then on these, the bracket actually went all the way down to here, the verticals. But they only put the screws in from there. There was no screws at the bottom, and they were just ding, ding, ding. And so I thought, hey, I'll put screws in there when I get ready to install that back. And the top, they didn't hit any of the studs in the wall. They just used the screw holes that were in the track, and they put Molly's toggle bolts up in there. And then I had to take those out. Some of those were a pain because they haven't been taken out for 15 years, and some of them were rusty and stripped on the back side, and the wing nut wasn't stuck on there properly. So I'm thinking phooey on putting this back up with the same thing. I'll find out where the studs are, and then I'll pre-drill a hole in that top piece, and this area will be mounted with 2 screws. And this will just be on the back side, and I just put caulking on the trim piece. You know, then I don't have to mess with that. 5 toggle things. I mean, have you ever installed those? They're a pain in my rear, and they're so long, and it just takes forever, and you don't really need them. Here, see, they put 5 more up there. And there's probably 2 studs. Within that bay, there's at least 2 studs. Here, they found the studs, and so they didn't have to put any toggles or mollies. It took them a while to find them. Boom, 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 boom. But there, they found a stud there, and one right there, and one in the corner. So, you know, kaboom. And so it was easy just to take the stuff off. And all of that, here I had another ceiling fan, another trim piece that was up there. And speaking of those return air registers, it looks like there's already getting some dust buildup on that. Not too bad. But you want to leave those in. Okay, so I took the trim off, and then I just popped that back in there. That one was snug. The other one was kind of loose, so I put a sheetrock screw in there, sticking way down, so when the heater turns off, that doesn't just flop out. Okay, but it's best to leave those in during construction, because you're gonna have all the dust. I'm gonna wipe down all these ceilings. I wiped down the top of that, vacuumed all that. I'm gonna wipe down the walls and all that kind of stuff before I paint. And all that dust, when you turn the heater on, all the dust in the air filters right through there, and it goes right to your air conditioner. Okay, that's why you got the filter. So leave the filter up there during construction. When we're all done, before I install that trim piece, we'll have new filters to be put in there. Okay, and so yeah, I took the trim out here. Here's the light fixture, the towel bar area, the towel ring, and in here they have a medicine cabinet. Okay, it's a pain to paint around these without getting it on the trim, without getting it on the mirror, and see on this backside, it's hard to see that. You can see it through this mirror here, right? But it's hard to get up in there, and then if you get some on there, you think, who cares if you get some paint on there? I care, because I'm gonna see it on the mirror. Do you see what I'm saying? And so I thought, well, this medicine cabinet is only installed 4 screws. Here's one down here, here's one up here, and then there's 2 at the same place on this side. Okay, I'm just going to take those out. And these happen to be little plastic shelves. Make sure if you got glass shelves, you take the glass shelves out first before you take this out. I'm still going to have to be careful with this, and then when I store this somewhere, I'm going to have to be real careful with that, because I don't want this edge to get chipped up, because I was trying to do myself a favor by taking this out. Now I've cracked the edge because I set it down somewhere. Somebody marked it or something. Now I have to get a new one that matches this other one. You try to do that, go to the store, and sometimes you can't find it. Okay, so that's something else I'll take down. And see, I just put all here's my shelf brackets. This is the register for the heat and air. I just took it down. Some people paint around it, but I took it down because it's only attached with 2 screws, and that way Mommy could clean all that out. And same thing with the exhaust fan covers and all that kind of stuff. She could clean all that stuff out. And I've got more. See, I've got more lighting stuff in there. And then here were my my wall sconces. I've got 4 of them there. Here's all my parts to the wall sconces, right there. Here's that heat vent light. That's right up here. Okay, and I've got some mounting screws. I've got some different screws over there, and you just try to put everything away. See this? I had everything stacked out here. Well, I need it out of the way so I can paint, so I don't have to walk around stuff. I still have to take this light or this blind down, because I want to take that out so I can finish wiping down the walls and see. the caulking was loose in certain areas, so I've already gone around here and I still have to do that up in there, and I want this thing out of the way. So there's just some clips in different locations, and this still looks good. It's the right color, it works. 99% of the time that blind is going to be left staying up anyways, right? And so we're probably going to go ahead and keep that, but I'm going to take it down before I paint. And there's lots of other things to do, and I'll make another video on prepping walls before you paint them and stuff. But this is just taking all the fixtures down, you know, and getting it ready. Isn't this going to be a lot nicer and easier to get all the paint done up here? Yeah, I'm gonna have to get an extension ladder and lean that up there to paint the skylight well. And extension ladder, set the extension ladder up that way, set it up that way. Because I've got an 8-foot ladder, and it's not gonna do me, is it? I've still got more stuff I've gotta do. And see here, we've got the thermostat. I'll pull that off of the wall and let it dangle. And did you know most electrical companies, where you pay your electricity bill, call them up and ask them, hey, do you guys provide and install new thermostats? Lots of them will. They'll come out. Well, I say lots. I know around here they do, and different counties and cities do it. So call up yours and ask them, because maybe it'll be a new type of register that'll work better than your old one. Maybe your old one is all decrepit and it's not working very well anyways, and it's half fallen off the cover, and you're not sure how to work it 100%. Well, they'll come out and they'll install a new one for you. And incidentally, the one that we got, Momi can run it over her phone. So if we're out of town, she can monitor the heat and air. She can turn it up, she can turn it down, she can turn it off, whatever. And then that also gives the electricity company the chance to override your system in the middle of summer. Maybe they shut it off periodically during the day so that they have enough power on their grid to run all of the other houses, let's say. And so periodically, maybe in the middle of the day, your air conditioner will go off, you know, for 15 minutes, and they'll turn it back on or whatever. And then if you're at home and if you notice, hey, your air is off, how come you can, I think she can override that system too. Okay, so there's a thought for you when it comes to installing a new thermostat. You don't have to go to the store, go buy one and then figure out how to install it yourself and all that kind of stuff. Just call up your electricity company first. They might be able to do it for you at no cost. So that's what's going to happen here. But I'm gonna probably take this off the wall anyway, so that I can paint closer, because I'm not sure on their base if it's as wide as this base, and I'd hate to just paint around this, and then when they come out, they take this one off, they install their new one, and oh shoot, now I'm half an inch short on that edge and 1/8 of an inch short over here, and now I've got to get the paint out and touch it up and all that. Hey, it's not the end of the world if that happens, but I'm going to try to see if I don't have to do that at all. I'll just have it dangle. Then I'll put masking tape around it and stuff, just on the particular day that I'm doing it, let's say. And the unit will still work, right? And let it dangle, and then move it and paint around it and leave it there. And then if I have, worst case scenario, if I have to reinstall it, I will. You know, put the mounting screws back in before the electrical company comes out here where you pay your electricity bill, okay? And then we'll have them install it. I don't want them, Mommy was saying, well, let's just have them come out right now and install it. No, I don't want to do that. Then I have to paint and cover that with masking tape, or cut around it, or maybe it gets damaged, or now it's just something in the way, okay? So that was my thought on that. I'm going to wait until I get done with painting before they install the new one.